Hi, and welcome to BeamGlobal's Fireside Chat series, where CEOs share secrets of global B2B software marketing. In these interviews, we have selected CEOs and founders of top B2B software companies and startups and that have made their breakthrough to global markets. So we want to learn from them what were the challenges that they have overcome, the strategy that they have devised, and obtain also valuable tips in the B2B international marketing arena so that you guys can get inspired, avoid some unnecessary mistakes, and also obtain some valuable tips. And our first guest for this video blog interviews is Sagi Gidali. Sagi is the co-founder and CPO at Perimeter 81. He leads all the product and marketing and design-related aspects of the platform. He's a serial entrepreneur who creates and optimizes SaaS solutions. Actually, Perimeter 81 is Sagi's second venture with Amit Bareket after transforming Safer VPN, which was a consumer VPN product from a bootstrap startup to a self-sustained business. Perimeter 81 is a secure network as a service that is really transforming the way network security is consumed. The founders identified that cloud and mobility are changing or creating a big shift in the network security, and that the hardware and legacy solutions are unable to address these needs. Perimeter 81 utilizes a software-defined perimeter architecture, offering network visibility, seamless onboarding, and full compatibility with the cloud, of course. And in just 2 years, the company has gained customers from all over the world in various industries. They're named as Gartner Cool Vendor, which is very cool. And recently they partnered with SonicWall to create a converged security platform. So Sagi, it's very nice having you here with us today. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, thank you for inviting me, Ori.
Thank you
I'm
for
good.
taking the time, your precious time, and sharing your insights of global sales with our audience.
Always happy to do so.
That's great. So let's maybe start by you telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, the company. What does your product do, and who are your target customers?
Sure. So a bit about myself. Basically, I'm a computer geek. Started to deal with computers by the age when I was 6 years old. My background is coming from more like a user experience product. So that's what I did when I was younger. I did it also in the army. I was serving in the intelligence unit and did it in other enterprises and startup after. In 2013, I founded my first company called Safer VPN together with Amit Bareket. We both met at Tel Aviv University. We studied computer science and economics. And what we did there, basically, we built a SaaS solution, a bootstrapped one, to give like a VPN solution to consumers. What is a VPN? Virtual private network, basically creating a solution for privacy for people all around the world. And in 2017, after we gained millions of users that utilize the solution and customers, tens of thousands of customers that use it, we saw that the world is changing. And there are two main things, or like two key drivers in the world, the tsunami that is happening currently. We're talking about mobility, people that are working from everywhere, the remote workers, the distributed workforce, working from coffee shops, the beach in Thailand, and etc. And the second thing is cloud. Many companies are moving to cloud infrastructure. Infrastructure's cloud solutions and the old solutions are not adequate to this way of work. So we saw a huge opportunity, and then we decided in 2017 to build Perimeter 81. Perimeter 81 is basically a SaaS solution, network as a service, that allows to replace the core solution, the core network of the organization in a very simple way. So we did it. We launched the product in 2018, and since then we managed to help more than 750 businesses worldwide, from small to very large ones. So that's like in a nutshell.
Right, right. And who are your typical customers? Can you characterize them?
Yeah. So basically, we have customers for many different verticals. But if I will say like the three main ones, will be like tech companies, finance, and health. For many different aspects, the main use case is secure remote access to the organization's resources. If we're talking about the on-premise and cloud resources, everything is being like accessible through the Perimeter 81 platform without a need to deliver hardware or to buy a very expensive server. Everything is scalable, deployed automatically. So this is like the main use case and
Right.
customer.
That's awesome. Now, tell me, please, at which stage or why have you decided to approach global markets? Is there anything that happened within the company or outside the company? What made you feel that you are ready and that it's the right time to go global?
Yeah, so we had we gained experience, 6 years of experience of dealing with global customers, SaaS experience, software as a service, building a solution which is based on a subscription. We understand and we dealt with digital campaigns worldwide, so it was pretty natural for us to reach out globally right at the beginning of Perimeter 81. So the first customer basically was in the US. Most of our customers are coming from North America, 70%, and the other ones are located worldwide. Some of them are in Israel, but this wasn't our main target market.
So actually, I understand that from the very beginning, your DNA led you to international markets, right?
Yes. So we did it like from the beginning, doing online marketing campaigns, conferences, reaching out to companies located abroad. Very early, we managed to open a US-based office in New York, operating from there. So basically what we do online sales. 70% are going to the inside sales team. Basically, they're doing a demo and then they're closing the deals themselves. And the other 30% are basically a zero-touch self-service sales, where the customer is coming to the website, signing up to the platform, creating the organization network in a very seamless way, and then basically continue to utilize the solution itself.
Very interesting.
And we call it the land and expand method. So basically, usually the account starts very small, and then they expand over time. So we see, on average, a 10% expansion month over month per account.
That's interesting. So where do you find it harder to sell nowadays? In Israel or in the US or other global markets?
So
this is a
when
controversial question.
Yeah, so when we founded usually it's harder to sell in Israel. I will say that. Israelis are much tougher, and they have like more restrictions, and there are more demands than usual. But these days, I would say that when we founded the company, me and Damit, we predicted that in 5 to 10 years, there will be like a massive transformation of the cloud and mobility, as I mentioned before. These days, we see it like with the coronavirus and everything that is happening. It forced companies to adapt overnight. Many companies had to close their offices, and the employees moved to work remotely. So we at Perimeter 81, our mission is to help these companies to operate as usual and connect to the business resources and basically this is what we're doing in the day-to-day operation these days, onboarding many customers to the platform, helping them to connect.
That's amazing. How do you define your unique selling proposition without going too much into details of the product? But I mean, what is your unique? What is unique in your proposition or in your product that makes customers listen to you and eventually prefer you over your competitors?
Yeah. So what we do basically, we separate it to two different types of competitors. We're talking about the traditional solutions, site-centric solutions that require hardware not educated to the cloud, very expensive ones, and it takes lots of time and effort to configure and install them. We are the newcomers. We're coming with the cloud-native, cloud-agnostic solutions that allows you to create your entire network from minutes to several days. Depends on the complexity of the architecture. So one thing is this capability of the technology, the architecture, the maturity and the experience that we gained from Safer VPN, 6 years of running massive networks, scalable, automatic deployments and processes. The second USP, or the second thing, is the ease of use. So we managed to create, if you think about the revolution that Dropbox made for files, this is the revolution that we are doing for networks. So you have a very easy to use platform where you can deploy and connect all of your resources. And moreover than that, our vision is more holistic. We're trying to bring everything into a unified single platform. So the idea is to create a converged network and security solution as a service. Actually, Gartner called it last August. They coined the term called SASE, Secure Access Service Edge. And this is basically what is the partnership that we are doing with SonicWall to bring all the security features of SonicWall into the Perimeter 81 platform and consume everything through a single source of truth. So that's like the big idea, and you will be able to do it as a SaaS solution.
Fantastic. Still, we all know that in B2B sales, the most important thing is to have reference customers. So how did you get initially your first customers abroad without having any international customers at all?
Yeah, so it's a good question, but I call it we went fishing in a good way. So we created the website, the brand, and the online campaigns. One of the first customers, for example, was Pinterest. So they clicked on an ad that we posted on Google. And basically, then they joined to the system after they did the session with the sales team.
That's cool.
So it was online campaign going to the sales. The product is working. So we are a product-led growth company. Make sure that you have a product, a good product with a value. And I think that the way from there will be much easier.
I would estimate and say that the product has such a big and clear value that customers, including bigger customers like Pinterest, were willing to take possibly a minimal risk of purchasing a solution from a non-vendor because the potential value was so big, but also clear to them.
Yeah. Also, like the friction, it's almost a frictionless product. So basically, what the companies are doing, they're buying, for example, we charge per user per gateway. So they can buy a small amount of users as a start, and then they can expand afterwards. So it doesn't cost a lot to start with Perimeter 81, and then we see the expansion over time.
All right. And what would you recommend or what is your experience focusing on a single territory, or rather, working parallelly across several territories in order to distribute the risk and the opportunities?
It depends. If you would ask me like 2 months ago, before all of the situation, I would say like focus on one territory. For us, it's a big opportunity now, so we are spread like with campaigns all over the world. But for the beginning, I would say that focus on one or two territories that you can focus on, understand the market, what's going on, who are the personas, identify the potential customers and prospects, and start from there. We at the beginning, we started with a couple of different, very different markets. We went with the US and we went with Japan, and we saw different behaviors, different sales cycles. So we decided to focus on North America and leave Japan aside at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, give us two mistakes that you're willing to share with us that you've committed in the initial stages of international penetrations, so that maybe our audience can avoid these kind of mistakes.
Yeah, I think that the first one, our go-to-market strategy, as I mentioned before, it's online marketing, direct sales. The second one, which I didn't mention, it's working with channels.
Mm-hmm.
Channels is a very important strategy. It can be like a very successful one, but you need to be ready for it. You need to have someone that will be on top of it. You need to have all the resources. You need to have support in the platform or in the product itself. So what we did at the beginning, we went with the channels, but we didn't have everything around it to support it and make it successful. So that's one.
Yeah, just to comment, this is a valuable tip because many companies think that by delegating their sales and marketing to a distributor, the channel partner will solve all their problems. But you have to invest in this. It doesn't work automatically. So it's a good tip.
Exactly. So it's a lot of work, and this is something that we didn't understand at the beginning. It was very new to us. We came from a consumer solution. SaaS solution was very easy for us. We said, okay, let's do channels. So that was the beginning. Now we are re-engaging with the channels, and we building the entire program, the platform, the support through the product, and making it more successful.
Mm-hmm. I see. And are you currently looking for channel partners in international markets actively? And
we do. We do that all the time. Now with the situation, it's a bit tricky. So most of the channels we managed to meet at the conferences, but the reality has changed. So we're looking for new ways to meet the channels. We're working with big distributors. We're working with Ingram Micro. We have a great relationship, one of the biggest distributors in the world, and others. Or local ones.
That's cool. That's cool. And tell me, please, how did you are funding or used to fund this, marketing activities? You need a lot of budget for marketing and product development to accommodate international needs. So how did you fund this?
Yeah. So my first tip, before the funding itself, I would talk about BI. You should connect all the dots with the numbers in order to take a savvy decision. If it's a marketing campaign, if you're going to invest money in a specific activity, you need to measure and you need to see what will be the ROI and how much time it will take to turn it into a positive ROI. If you don't know that, don't put the money. It's like waste of money. So that's the first thing. So we are also BI centric. We have a BI team in the company, people that are developing internal tools to support and sustain like all of the activities that we take from each department level to every employee is basically has transparency in the company for this data points. For funding, basically we did so far almost $20 million of funding. We just closed our Series A of $14 million. That was led by Sonic Wall and Toba Capital. And basically this round was after we got to a product market fit. We saw that the product is running seamlessly. We get traction. The first round was $5 million. It was in last March 2019. So in less than 1 year, we raised almost $20 million.
Wow, that's really impressive. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And tell me, please, maybe my final question: how long did it take you to get to the initial sales? I'm not talking about accidental 1 or 2 sales, but the first volume of sales that you understood that this model, this product, this enterprise is working for you. So how long did you need to wait or work in order to get to see the first results?
So I think our story is a bit different because we pivoted from a different company. We also sold the Safer VPN in last August. We sold the customers and the brand, but we kept the entire IP. The IP, like the infrastructure, was the base for Operator 81. So the transformation was from the moment that we decided to bring in the first customer was around 3 months. So it was like a very short amount of time.
Yeah, sure.
The first year, 2018, was mainly about building the infrastructure, building a solid and working product. So we did a bottom-up strategy. We started with smaller businesses. This was the majority of the customers at that point, but it's also in correlation to the product maturity, the product features, and etc. So that's where we started in 2018. 2019 was a huge jump for the product, for the company, for the vision. It evolved very quickly. We got the Gartner Cool Vendor, which was a huge milestone for us. We created a very robust and unique features that we added to the platform, and we saw the spike with the acquisition due to these features that we added. We raised money, so the money also accelerated the process of the growth. And I think that the peak, it's in these months, basically.
Wow.
Where we see that we managed to bring and help to more than 160 customers.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Well, I have endless more questions for you, but maybe we'll keep it for some other session. Sagi, I want to thank you very much for taking the time for the interview, for sharing your insights, and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, Rory. I'd be happy to help whoever needs. Feel free. Thank you very much for hosting me, and have a great day as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.